HBF Park looking quite a picture tonight, and hopefully the crowd will continue to build as we get closer to the imminent kickoff. Perth Glory make a couple of changes to their starting 11. Jacob Muir and David Williams, for just his second start of the season, come in to the 11. Kolakovsky restored to the bench, Carluccio and potential debutant Andriano Labib amongst the substitutes. No John Katrumbis or Luke Bodnar tonight for Alan Stadgich's Glory. David Williams last started a game in the A-League Men's all the way back on the 11th of November away at Western Sydney Wanderers. His form off the bench has been outstanding. As you saw there, he's up to 49 career goals, and he'll be hoping that a start tonight will also yield career goal number 50 in the A-League Men's. He's had a number of stops across the journey, but this late career renaissance has been one of the great highlights. Brisbane Roar, they make one change. Tom Aldred is back and wearing the captain's armband. James Nikolovsky moves to the substitutes bench. Otherwise, Ruben Zaktovic had few reasons to want to change his team that dispatched Melbourne City emphatically 5-1 last weekend. It means that Marco Rojas, the Kiwi international, is still getting his match minutes up from the bench, as is French star Florent Berenguer. Keegan Jelicic was one of the standouts of Perth Glory's season last campaign, wearing purple. A move to Belgium was short-lived, and he is back in Australia now, in his native Queensland. And even though he did have a red card early in his Raw stint, we know his quality, and he'll know how to play this surface as well as anyone. Alan Stadgic has certainly ridden the roller coaster of emotions with his Glory team. Yet another stoppage time equaliser, denying him all 3 points in Adelaide last weekend as the match ended in a 3-all draw. And Ruben Zaktovic was the coach of Perth Glory last season. He had an A-Leagues All Access feature made about his time in charge. Didn't work out at the end of the campaign. Popped up on short notice at Brisbane Roar to be an assistant coach to Ben Kahn, and within a couple of games found himself in the big chair. And how the fixture has worked out to pit him against his former club so soon. Adam Kersey is closing in on 100 A-League matches with the whistle. His assistants tonight, Ashley Beecham and Josh Manella. Shane Skinner, the fourth official, and Kate Jakobitz is in the VAR booth, should we need it. Perth Glory, we know when they're up and flying, whether it was the NSL era or the not too recent 2018-19 season, they can be a home crowd and a home event that really rocks. And as we kick off Perth Glory against the Brisbane Roar, Phil Moss, you join us with hopefully happy days ahead for the Glory given the ownership situation.
Absolutely great news during the week, Teo, for all involved with not just Perth Glory but the A-League as well, because it's so important for the sustainability of our league that we have strong ownership in place, and there's still a couple of clubs to go in that regard, but certainly great news for Perth Glory, a really famous Australian football club from the National League era into the A-League era. I'm sure that will definitely give the players a spring in their step, just that stability. But aside from everything happening off the field, we've got two teams that are in form on the field, so that's the main ingredient for what should be a fantastic game tonight. And
right as we kick off, we can confirm that the Melbourne Derby is finished in a scoreless draw. So you know what that means, Mossy, the late night Perth games, and it's night games for the locals in WA, but on the East Coast, you get rewarded if you push on and stay up past midnight, because we've had goal fests and stoppage time equalisers and winners and all sorts of drama whenever the Glory have been at HBF Park this season.
Yes, and as far back as last season as well, there was a few dramatic finishes. You never know what's in store, but already the atmosphere, and Jake Burns mentioned it in the pre-game, the atmosphere was really building nicely, and you can sense it.
Bruce Kamau here trying to force a pass through for Daniel Benny, and he was denied by shoulder-to-shoulder defending in the end, but the youngster looking for his first A-League goal, 17 years of age. Anthony Burke-Gilroy on his case here.
It's just a little half chance for Perth.
Live play here as we see leaning into the header, and now a sliced volley. The Ball is cleared eventually, not overly convincing, but eventually away. Here's Rawlins for the Glory. Now Benny. Giordano Collie turns it back to Jacob Muir. Now Daryl Latchman. The centre back just goes on a little venture, but decides against any further. Now Rawlins lifts in across. There's no one attacking the ball for the Glory. Hingett. Now Joe Coletti. Glory able to turn the ball over in an advanced position. Benny Williams, the step over. Kamau, body checked. Referee had a perfect view. Play continues. And a cross twisted back to the penalty spot. Warland tried to get the attack going, but Jelicic can repel for the Brisbane Roar.
Well, some really good combination play on the edge of the box as we see screen in screen. The replay, hard to tell from that angle whether there was anything more in it.
And now the Roar's first attack of meaning, blocked away by Latchman. Up comes Hingett. Has Jelicic. He is attracting the Boo Boys. Interesting, the former Glory player. And then an errant touch from Nikola Mile-Uznic, sees the ball out for a goal kick.
Here's that body check from Jack Hingett. Well, the alleged body check. I think it was shoulder to shoulder. Nothing to see here. Play on. Good refereeing from Adam Kersey.
I'm a little surprised Keegan Jelicic is getting the boos. I know Perth are a parochial home fan base, but he was a great servant to them last season and actually gave the Glory some of their best highlights of last campaign.
They're missing one key ingredient, Teo. He's in a white shirt.
As the cross from Rawlins here is plucked out by Macklin Freak.
And this is the thing, Perth need to return HBF Park to that fortress. If that includes booing former players, I'm all for it. Builds the atmosphere, builds the tension.
Of course, there are a handful of players who've crossed between both sides involved tonight. Anthony Burke-Gilroy of the Raw, another one who previously played for the Glory. And he's going to be on the end of this pass here if he can make ground. And those with slightly longer memories give him a smattering of booing, certainly not as rough as the one Jelicic got. Here's Henry Hoare. He plays it back to Joe Coletti. Hingett. Aldred. And the Raw have quite confidently established themselves on the ball, holding possession.
Yeah, and they needed to, because Perth had given them just a couple of half scares early on, the first few minutes, so it's important that Brisbane get a foothold in this game on the ball. Ruben Zadkovic wants to play a very proactive style of game, dominate possession. It's difficult to do that over in Perth.
Jelicic, Raw looking to use him as the player with his foot on the ball so much in these first 5 minutes. Trying to establish a tempo. Glory happy to sit back and wait for the chance to spill possession, which is exactly what they've done here. And now perhaps a lightning counter-attack. Taggart with Benny on the underlap. Forced it through. Daniel Benny. Square ball intercepted. The Raw can play their way out of defence. Miller was...
Well, that was a good break down the right-hand side. Fantastically timed run by Adam Taggart, who was released on cue. But Brisbane did well to get bodies back behind the ball, snuff out the danger. Good opening feel to the early exchanges, first 6 or 7 minutes.
Mile-Uznic taking possession. Into the middle, Jay O'Shea, and now Burke-Gilroy. Everything slows down just a little. Coletti. Question is, who is providing an opening for the Raw to exploit? There it is on the left. Beautiful pass. Finds Mileušnić in shooting range all of a sudden. Rawlin's got a boot in. And then backtracking is Warland to deny Hingett.
Oh, it was a beautiful release from Jay O'Shea. Right into the path of Nikola Mileušnić. And just let the ball run away from him, which is uncharacteristic for Nikola.
O'Shea again combining with Mileušnić. A little bit further from the penalty area this time. O'Shea directing traffic, but didn't like his options ahead of the ball. Back to Aldred he goes. Aldred loads up a long shot, driving it into the back of Giordano Colley. O'Shea. Now Henry Hall buzzing around. Back to Mileušnić, a long chain of passes, and eventually it is diffused with Warland heading back to his keeper, Ollie Say. Question now is, how long can Perth Glory retain the ball, maybe enjoy a bit of time in their attacking half, because Raw have definitely taken over possession.
Yeah, they have. And Brisbane are quite efficient at winning the ball high up the pitch. They forced 10.7 high turnovers per game, which is second in this competition, and reaped the reward with 6 goals, which is top of this competition from that high press. So it points very clearly to the fact that Perth are going to have to be very efficient with the way they build up and play out from the back.
And Jelicic again finds himself in possession now for the Raw. O'Shea. Jelicic has Hingett in support. O'Shea once more, and it clears all and sundry in the penalty area. Great to see busy stands for the Glory fans. That's their youth brigade. You got the shed a little bit further back in the grandstand, but the youngsters have been loving what they've seen behind that goal so far this season. O'Shea, and now Henry Hoare on the spin. Jelicic, Perth Glory packed the top of the penalty area. And Hingett, as the ball is cleared away. Williams to come out. And he is dispossessed quickly. Hingett making the tackle. Burke Gilroy getting up the left channel here. Not at breakneck speed though.
That's great work, screen and screen. Jack Hingett, not long before that he was involved in the Brisbane attack. To recover, perform his defensive responsibilities and break the play down, and Bruce Kamau had seen some green grass in front of him. Here, Ruben Zadkovic getting animated from the technical area. Doesn't Alan Stagic's done a great job as well, Teo, when you think about the ownership issue and the instability around the club to this point in the season. He's really steadied the ship and had a fantastic last month.
Henry Hoare, now Hingett. Jay O'Shea. Mileušnić squeezes a pass into traffic. Still on here for the Raw. As O'Shea lifts it high and out. Well, I think one of the things that Alan Stajic has talked about is if you're not motivated, if you're not playing like, you know, dying for the shirt means the world to you, you know, why are you here? It's, he is obviously a motivator, but he also expects such high standards of commitment from his team. And that's why I think the Glory have had this never say die attitude that's resonated so much with their fan base this season.
Yeah, it's a good point you make. He's an experienced coach as well. He understands that sometimes you have to manage through ambiguity, uncertainty and instability. The one thing that you can control is what happens in that dressing room. It's the mindset of the players and selecting players that you know want to play for the badge, for each other and for the fans.
Long ball here and intercepted by Freak. And of course, Ruben Zadkovic was perhaps the first coach that didn't have a choice in having to play a number of youngsters before they were necessarily ready for A-League football. I think the season before last, when Perth were in the COVID bubble over in the East Coast, he debuted a number of players, and I think that has set a tone for Perth, where again we've seen debutantes galore this season. Another potential one, Adriano Labib, Australia under-17s international, waiting on the bench for his potential debut. And again, if you're bringing through homegrown youngsters from your town, it's the sort of thing that just endears you to the fan base and helps build that connection.
Yeah, it certainly does. And you've also got to bring into that conversation the likes of Richie Garcia, Steve McGarry, who were there before. Because it's been a very, as Jake Burns alluded to, it's been a very, very tough 3-4 seasons for the club. Not easy to manage a dressing room and bring players through during those periods, but I think all those coaches have played their part.
Taggart. Back to Muir. We're all happy to drop back and let Glory into the attacking half. Rawlins finding a yard of space. Benny brought the ball down promisingly on the turn here, and Anthony Burke-Gilroy stuck to him, conceding a corner. So there's plenty of debate about whether he did get the last touch.
First of all, Benny does a great job bringing it under control. There's a little bit of shirt tugging both ways, you'd have to say. I think Burke-Gilroy's got a point there. I think he played it into the foot of Daniel Benny. Perth get a bonus corner.
So first corner of the night, and the referee is going to want to have a chat just to a couple of players to remind them not to commit a foul before the in-swinger here from Warland. Macklin Freak with a big punch away, clears the penalty box. Taggart on the turn, and well, is it another corner? It is. Krujnia made a split-second decision and decided to let the ball run out. Adam Taggart, who had some good seasons at the Brisbane Roar, on his journey to 65 goals, his current A-League tally across all clubs. Great strike rate from just 137 games. Here comes another corner from Warland. Once again, Freak is first to the ball, had to leap out and really commit with the right arm this time. Glory looking to recycle possession. Colley, here comes the second time ball. And at the third time of asking, Macklin Freak once again rises high. His overarm throw. It's not quite setting the Roar away at top speed. They're going to let Glory get back in position here. Glory not committing to the press too eagerly at this stage. You see the possession stats. 2/3 Brisbane's way. Kai Truitt. A string of about 10 or 15 passes, Bossy, that have gone absolutely nowhere. This is defending almost like rest possession, resting with the ball.
Yeah, you can see the midfield of Brisbane Roar are rotating. The likes of Jay O'Shea, Coletti, Jelicic are given some freedom in that midfield by Zadkovic.
And now a spark. Burke Gilroy with Jelicic. Players to make it happen for the Raw. O'Shea. And Milosnic, a shot after one touch, blocked immediately. Coletti. Jelicic. Jay O'Shea, and now Henry Hoare. Burke Gilroy whips in a ball, and on one bounce it's held comfortably by Ollie Sale.
It wasn't bad shape on the cross from Henry Hoare. Some good whip on it into a good area and pick out a runner.
Wallen again in space, can pick his mark in the penalty area, and a good defensive header away keeps it from Taggart. Colley sliding it through the right channel. Kamau, and he didn't quite get that right, and as it goes out for a goal kick, it gives us the chance to check in down at pitch level with Jacob Burns. Jacob, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thanks, guys. Well, it's an incredible atmosphere as we predicted. The shed is certainly in full voice, and they've I don't know if you could hear it, but they were certainly letting Ruben know about his return to HBF. Interesting on the field has been a bit of a tweak for Glory, where you would have picked up they're playing a 3-5-2 with their wing backs quite high, and once they break that first line of press for Raw, certainly Joshy Rawlins is getting some joy down this right hand side. On the other hand, Brisbane, they're controlling the ball with obviously Glory sitting back.
Play here, Jacob. Daniel Benny cuts onto his right, and it's deflected behind for a corner. Soda interrupt there, but Daniel Benny was lurking for his first A-League goal. As it goes out for a corner, Jacob, I'll let you finish that point about the Raw.
Yeah, look, Raw, their Glory need to adjust to accommodate for the rotations, as Mossy alluded to, with Coletti and O'Shea getting in dictating, and also the fullbacks, inverted fullbacks, are causing problems with how deep they are. So it'd be interesting if Stadge tweaks that as it starts to settle now.
Big thanks to Jacob Burns down on the sideline. Here comes the corner for Giordano Colley. Takes it short. Warland. Colley gets a bit more of an angle, and now Muir is the long shot on for Muir. Well, blocked away by Tom Aldred with a degree of comfort. And as the ball finds its way out, Mossy, your thoughts on the technical observations of Jacob Burns down at ground level?
Well, as always, very astute from Burns. He knows his football, and he's down there close to the action. But yeah, 100%. You know, Brisbane. I'll just let this unfold for you, Taya.
Warland happy to steer it back to Latchman. Now an aggressive diagonal here. Rawlins, and a good header by True and away. Shujna leaves it with Muir. Lots of numbers committed forward for Glory here. Muir, Warland again. A chance to drive it low this time. Henry Hoare is first to react, and he finds the safety of the touchline. Yeah,
and we saw that Perth came out of the blocks, and a couple of half scares early on, but then Brisbane really got a foothold. They've had the better of the possession. To Burnsy's point, it may need a little tactical tweak from Alan Stadgic just to be able to get a little bit closer to Brisbane in possession and force those turnovers.
Glory looking to force the issue here. Rawlins, well, that was an attempted volley. It was audacious on the tight angle, ultimately slicing it out for a goal kick.
It's an example of what we were just talking about too, with how high those fullbacks or wing backs for Perth are getting. I mean, they're playing with Daryl Latchman and Schuschner as the two central defenders, but they've got that ability and agility, if you like, to drop a midfielder in between, get the wide men high in Rawlins and Warland.
Bit of a wrestle in central midfield, and eventually the referee does reach for his whistle to see exactly where the ball was cleared to. So as it comes back, it'll be glory ball.
Leads you back 3 in possession, as you can see, with Muir coming out of that right-hand side. Rawlings playing high.
And he attracts the contact of Jelacic here. So a wide free kick in a threatening position coming up for the Glory.
Good little battle there between Jelacic and Rawlins.
Stajic and his assistant there, Nahuel Arate. Set piece opportunity for Perth. No Mark Beavers in the team. He's been out with injury, so Darryl Latchman perhaps the primary target here. Warland out of the pack of players, and it's the opening goal for Taggart. New owners, same Adam Taggart, still scoring goals, and Perth Glory take the lead.
Well, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Who else but Captain Marvellous in a Perth Glory shirt? Adam Taggart, Johnny on the spot as always, as we see the delivery into the back post area on the Harvey Norman replay. A great header back across goal. And it's Adam Taggart, who's never going to miss from there, who just has a knack of finding the space and does what all good strikers do, and that's head the ball back from where it's come. Catches the goalkeeper, Macklin freak off balance. There's nothing he can do about it, but it's the defending inside the 6-yard box from the header back across the face that really let Brisbane down. And you got someone the quality of Adam Taggart lurking.
11th of the season for Taggart. You can see the Golden Boot standings there. He is in a tie for 3rd with Angel Torres of the Mariners and just 2 off a share of the lead. It is his 6th career goal against the Brisbane Roar, and the first time he's found the back of the net against them since April of 2018. So he did play for the Roar for a few seasons there, which is why it's been such a long time. But the Roar have fallen victim to him for a 6th time here over the course of Adam Taggart's 66th goal A-League men's career. We are waiting. Just wonder if this is a VAR check for offside at some point of the free kick. Certainly not Taggart. Goal stands given. Mossy, how does a player like Taggart get so free as a bird in the penalty area like that?
Concentration. It's quite simple. Taking responsibility for your job, knowing the danger that he possesses. Brisbane had plenty of numbers there. Ruben Zadkovic will be livid to concede the lead from a set piece after how they've dominated possession in the early periods.
It's not like Josh Rawlins was about to bear down on the penalty area or swinging across either. He was moving away from the penalty box when he won the free kick. So both the conceding of the free kick and then conceding from the free kick.
That's it. And how often do we see it where set pieces change the course of a match? That's exactly what we've just seen before us.
Raw have dominated possession though, and are straight back to work in pursuit of an equaliser. Coletti, now Hingett, promising ball to Milejuznic, and Latchman clears away behind for a corner. Raw, one of their better attacks of the night, immediately in response.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. Hingett central to it, Milejuznic getting in behind, Latchman doing his job defensively. When you do concede, you want to get right down the other end and show that your confidence hasn't been rattled.
So, corner kick for the Brisbane Roar. See all the movement around the penalty spot. Lots of grabbing and grappling, and almost the equaliser for Mile Uznic, who puts the header over the bar.
It was almost a case of whatever you can do, we can do better. Brisbane trying to get back on level terms through a set piece. Great delivery from Jay O'Shea. Just lifts it into an area that he knows is going to cause some problems. Mile Uznic gets up, free as a bird too. It can sometimes happen when you set up zonally to defend set pieces.
So a let off for the Glory. They hold their lead. Brisbane Roar perhaps encouraged though. Both a good move from open play and finding a free man at the set piece. No goal to show for it. You can see Burke Gilroy making space over on the left, and that is where the ball is going. Everything slows down just a little, so he has to steer back to Trewin. O'Shea, see, Collie saw that as a chance to hunt the ball, and so the Roar all the way back to their keeper now. David Williams extending out the sprint. Kamau, Glory committing a few numbers forward, and maybe that's gaps here for the Roar to exploit. Burke Gilroy. Jelicic. Burke Gilroy swings in the cross, teasing for Mile Uznic! Brisbane Roar level in the blink of an eye, and it's Nikola Mile Uznic who is able to equalise, and the Roar will feel they have been good value for that goal as they draw level 1-1.
That is individual brilliance from Nikola Mile Uznic. The way he uses his body, and credit to Burke Gilroy for the delivery from this wide area. Just drops the shoulder on the Harvey Norman replay. But look at that from Mile Uznic. The way he uses his body against Riley Warland to hold the defender off, have the awareness and the first touch to set him up for a strike on target that finds the roof of the net. And there is nothing that Ollie Sale can do about that. That is brilliant from Nikola Mile Uznic.
Fifth goal of the season and his first in 5 weeks. He last scored against Sydney FC on the 6th of January, so he's been waiting for this one. It's his second career goal against the Glory. Last time he scored against them was February 2018 for Adelaide United, so 6 years. He's been waiting to put one in the back of the net against the Glory. But Mile Uznic has Roar back level, and any sort of bonus or advantage Perth may have felt that they got from that set piece, now they are back level, and Brisbane Roar remain perhaps the dominant team in possession and the flow of play at the moment.
We saw the statistic flash up not too long ago where Perth actually had more shots at goal, not necessarily on target. 7-5 as it stands now. You can't deny Brisbane Roar that equaliser. They've been good in possession, moving the ball well, dealing with Perth's structure. Whereas Perth relied on the set piece to take the lead. That was some real brilliance from Mile Uznic.
Perth, you can see, camped at the edge of the penalty area. Freak just drops it in space for Jelicic. Backtracking, Kamau is able to win possession for the Glory. Well, half an hour in, a goal each. We tend to know what happens at HBF Park. When we get into these sort of situations, the goals just keep coming. Who will score next? Rawlins. Williams, back to Rawlins, biding his time. Now bustling run from Shuzhnia, but comes unstuck. Ran into a cluster of Raw players, and now Brisbane have possession. Aldred. foul given here will allow Raw to get out of defence.
That's wonderful play from Jack Hingett, who is 248 games of experience in the A-League. 2 games shy of his 250th. Uses all that experience to take all the pressure off his team with an amazing little run, and then draws the foul.
So we wait for Jack Hingett to put the boot back on. Recent Perth Glory games at HBF Park. 4-2 win against Melbourne City, 3-2 loss in stoppage time to Melbourne Victory, 3-2 win against Macarthur in stoppage time as well. So 1-1 is unders. Stay with us. There's a Raw fan on the road waiting for the game to get back underway, but Hingett's not too far from getting all his kit back in order. There's the man quite literally flying the flag for the Brisbane Roar. And now Jay O'Shea. Ruben Zatkovich directing traffic from the sidelines, and O'Shea at the end of the passing triangle will keep it moving down the left. Henry Hall. Jelicic back to Burke Gilroy. Ball speed just picking up for Brisbane. Henry Hall kept it in, or did he? He did not. Assistant referee over on the near side is Ashley Beecham. Throwing down the line. Perth only in possession for that one throw. Yielded straight back to the Roar immediately.
Just to give some clarity to viewers about what Jacob Burns was talking about with Perth playing a back 3 that's in possession. As soon as they lose the ball, they drop into a 4-4-2 defensive shape. See the front 2, David Williams and Taggart, and the midfield bank of 4 and the back 4.
Promising bodywork from Waddingham, but he couldn't make a play on the ball. Henry Hall. O'Shea. Coletti. And now O'Shea. That is clever. Look away pass. Finds Burke Gilroy. Now Henry Hall. Pops it sideways. Jelicic back to Henry Hall. Once, twice, and the volley. Waddingham denied initially, but then scores on the follow-up. And the youngster, who has been a peripheral character in the game until this point, launches himself and the Roar into the back of the net for a 2-1 lead.
Well, that's a huge moment for Brisbane Roar to take the lead on the Harvey Norman replay. Henry Hall central to it. A great save from Ollie Sale, but Waddingham doesn't lose faith in the belief that he'll find the back of that net. He stays true to the cause, and look at that on the rebound. Ollie Sale absolutely devastated after a great reflex save in the first instance, and unlucky not to hold on to the rebound as well. But Waddingham wins the day and puts his side 2-1 up.
And the 18-year-old striker nets for the 4th time this campaign. Mossy, he had not been prominent, but that is striker's instincts on show right there. When the opportunity presented, he's found the back of the net.
He certainly has, and we saw it in the Australia Cup. We saw that the kid can score goals. He uses his body well. He's got good awareness of what's around him. And having spoken to Ruben Zatkovich during the week, he was adamant that he was prepared to put his faith in Waddingham to lead his line, and that faith has just been repaid.
And now, a bit of an eerie vibe around HBF Park as the home fans, well, they're hoping for an equaliser. Taggart denied, Williams follows up, Benny blocked. What a save from Macklin Freak.
Outstanding. What great instincts, great reflexes. swats the ball away to safety. He had to be so sharp. Oh, Teo, are you feeling it in your bones?
It's not even half-time, Mossy, and we've got 3 on the board already. This was so close. Macklin Freak, what a good stop.
Fantastic. Look at that. The deflection caught him off guard a little bit too. So he had to adjust when he was airborne. Did absolutely brilliantly, the Brisbane custodian.
When the clock ticks over the 38-minute mark, there will be applause for Dylan Tombides for the duration of that minute. Wait and see if the ball perhaps conveniently goes out of play or if play settles down, because we've been in a bit of a lively spell for the last 5 or 6 minutes. And now the fans, you'll hear the applause around HBF Park. And it is a great initiative for the memory of Dylan Tombides, held every season in Perth.
It is absolutely a wonderful young footballer. Gone way too soon, and some great work by so many people to keep his legacy alive and raise awareness for that horrible illness.
DT38.org if you want to find out more about the DT38 Foundation. Shujna turns away. Latchman. Warland. First time volley, hooks it back, but mainly to Brisbane's advantage. However, it beats a couple. Muir takes back over. Kamau. Hinga hurried here by Benny, and Benny commits a foul. Such is his earnestness to try and win possession. Tom Waddingham has had 5 touches of the ball, Mossy, and 2 of those, well, one was the shot saved by Sale and the other was the follow-up for the goal. So prior to scoring the goal, he touched the ball just 3 times, but sometimes that's what strikers can do. They can be anonymous, and then they can pop up and do the most important thing in the game, which is put it in the net.
Yeah, that's right. And that's probably reflective of the way Brisbane have played in this first half to this point. Their midfielders, Coletti, O'Shea, Jelicic have been on the ball a lot, and then they've been feeding their wide men in Miller Jusnic and Henry Hoare, who have had a free rein to come inside, play inside to out, outside to in. Waddingham was there when it counted most, and that was to put the ball in the back of the net.
By point of comparison, Jay O'Shea, this is his 65th touch, and he's completed 54 passes. He has been central, but he's given up the ball here ever so briefly. Kai Truan, well, it's a shallow back pass, and now Macklin Freak is able to clear the danger. Neat flick on. Jelicic nearly had Henry Hoare away. Shujna tied up in knots.
Let's not bypass that touch from Jelicic then. That was pure class. That ball had plenty of pace on it from Macklin Freak. And just he nonchalantly linked up with his strike partner.
Into the last 5 minutes of regulation in what has been a lively first half. Kamau, options in the middle, and he went for the driven cross, which is headed behind by Burke Gilroy. Waddingham back helping out the rest of his defence here. Can Perth Glory draw level before the break? They took the lead, now they trail. Muir, headed away by Coletti, only as far as Shujna. Collie. Warland. Kamau's got to rise, and Burke Gilroy made a good aerial contest against it. Muir off the chest. Rawlins trying to make the most of it. Throw-in goes the Glory's way. Rawlins leaves it with Kamau. The return pass intercepted by Henry Hoare, but issues for Jay O'Shea. Now from deep in the corner, he just clears for distance. Waddingham, the header, out into the Raw bench. Muir trying to rise to a sprint, but he's been followed there by Jelicic.
Well, he keeps rotating out to the right-hand side, Muir, from his midfield position in that defensive structure, and that's where the back three gets created. It allows Rawlins to push on into an advanced area as a wing-back, if you like. And the key then is once Muir receives it, he's got to create a 2v1, committed defender to free up someone else that he can play in. So far, Brisbane's defensive structure has held firm.
Looping ball, Benny at the far post. Taggart calls for it in the middle. Good header away by Trewin. Waddingham is the most advanced Brisbane player at the moment, so support not forthcoming. Warland, Taggart, Giordano Colley. Last minute of regulation at the end of the first half.
It's a good sign, Teo. This first half has flown by. There's been action down both ends. 3 goals, as you pointed out. The feeling that the foundations are set for a fantastic second half.
Warland and Benny with a flick header on. Gilroy towards the line. Hingett. To shouts of no foul for Daniel Benny, who was wearing him closely. Now Mileuznich. And the ball spills favourably for Perth. The referee's going to whistle play dead here, and it is Brisbane Roar's teenage goal scorer Tom Waddingham who is down.
Well, this is interesting because it looks like he's clutching at his leg, but Adam Kersey seemed to have some real urgency to stop the game and get the trainers out there, but the trainer doesn't look like he's in too much of a hurry.
Well, it'll be a minimum of 4 additional minutes, plus however much the referee deems necessary for this stoppage right here. So what's the issue? Looks like it's outside of the left ankle.
Well, I never like to see any player go down, of course, but it just seemed that there was some real urgency from Adam Kersey to stop the game for some reason. And Waddingham is back on his feet and walking off unaided.
So from a drop ball, play restarts. Shuzhna, Taggart and up and under, and that will go for a goal kick. So you think from this point there might be another 4 minutes. It really depends how closely the referee was following that latest break in play. The only injury stoppage of the first half. Freak goes for distance. Latchman. Warland. Aerial duel won by Rawlins. Come out. Back to Rawlins. Colley. Not in the options ahead of the ball, so Glory reset. Their defensive three is pressed right up to the edge of the attacking third here. Now they drop back a couple of steps. Muir. Rawlins being stood up here by Henry Horan now. Support comes in the form of Jelicic. And the ball did squeak out. Brisbane get the throw.
Well, that was great work by Jelicic and Henry Hoare to put so much pressure on Rawlins. He had no choice in the end but to run the ball out.
Burke Gilroy's throw down the line. Waddingham back on both his feet, looking all right. Daniel Benning. Rawlins isolated again. Jelicic tries to make it a 2-on-1 again. This time Rawlins has got new ideas. Shuzhner with the long shot. Wide right. Not too far away. We know he's capable.
Decent strike from the big defender. He certainly had Macklin Freak half worried enough to fling himself in the direction of the strike. It was always going wide, but that's good technique from the big defensive unit, the experienced central defender.
Both teams appealing for the throw-in. Time of the essence, though. Maybe one phase of play remaining in the half, and it's going to be Raw in no great hurry. Are seemingly happy to take this to the halftime whistle, having gone behind and then struck twice to go in front. And the halftime whistle goes with Brisbane Raw currently holding what would be 3 precious points. Keegan Jelicic has returned west. So far, so good. Perth Glory, a big halftime team talk coming up for Alan Stajic. We know that these second halves at HBF Park can go in any direction, so don't go anywhere because there's plenty more to the story. Perth Glory 1, trailed Brisbane Raw 2. Stay with us here on Paramount Plus. Don't forget, the A-League Men's continues tomorrow as the Wanderers head up to Gosford to play the Central Coast Mariners. Halftime show on the other side of this short break.
That's a lovely return pass for Torres! And they have a goal. Angel Torres. Well, if anyone was going to give them a lifeline, it's their Colombian with his 11th goal of the season. Can he find the option? Brilliant goal for Lockie Brook. It's a brilliant ball. Lockie Brook, that's 2. With the delivery towards Marcelo, he's done it! The captain, with their backs against the wall.
We got their awareness match in April 13th, so their big one. Yep.
1-2.
We got our golf day on May 14th coming up as well, and it's Dylan's 10 years anniversary, so that's probably the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you about all that initially. What other things are coming up in the pipeline?
Yeah, we
Year
do.
ahead. I'll start off by asking you what your role is,
Yeah.
the great work that you've been doing over a number of years, and the ambassadors that you've had doing it. How important this game is?
Oh yeah, there we go.
How important this game
Donna.
is?
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
On brand.
Yeah, bit of half.
Yeah.
No problem.
Caitlin Ford takes over. Still going. What a run! Brilliant individual goal. Fowler, it opens up for the shot. Oh, Mary Fowler! What a goal! They're queuing up in the middle. Carpenter, who sets the bar so high for the Matildas.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks half-time show. And as we take a look at our match-defining moment from the first half, Phil Moss, it was Brisbane Roar finding ways to stay in the lead.
Yeah, that's right, and they were good for the lead, to be brutally honest. There's some good goalkeeping at both ends. Macklin Freak there with a really good reflex save. Had to readjust in the air because of a deflection. He certainly played a pivotal part in his side being in the lead. But Brisbane, you can't deny them the fact that they've dominated and scored 2 good goals.
They have. It hasn't dampened the spirits of the Perth Glory fans so far to this point of the match, but they will be ruining that they took the lead and then coughed it up. Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman highlights, because that tells the story of this first half. Mossy, Perth taking the lead through Adam Taggart's 11th goal of the season.
Yeah, and a well-flighted ball to the back post from Riley Warland, and then it's Taggart who is Johnny on the spot. He doesn't miss from there. He just knows where to be, when to be there, and how to find the back of the net. With a international coming up, you never know. He just might be putting his name in lights at just the right time to return to the green and gold. Adam Taggart, he's been very impressive this season.
So that was Perth 1-0, but the Brisbane Roar, they weren't behind for long, and Nikola Milosnic popping up with his first goal since January the 6th.
This was a fantastic goal. Good delivery from Burke Gilroy, no doubt about that. But look at the way Milosnic uses his body here against Warland brilliantly to shield the ball, get himself in between the ball and the defender, and then uses his strength to get his first touch into a good area and his technique, and then rifles it into the top of the Perth Glory net to put his side on equal footing.
And so that was so important for Brisbane, just reasserting themselves on the contest, given that they had dominated possession, and then they got some reward for it, and then doubled their money shortly after. Tom Waddingham had only touched the ball 3 times prior to this, Mossy. However, the 5th touch was the one that ended up in the back of the net.
Persistence pays, and he didn't give up on that chance, and Henry Hoare was central to this, just causing some problems there. Great save from Ollie Sale at the first attempt. Unlucky not to hold the second one, but it really was Waddingham's persistence that paid off in the end, and he got his side in the lead.
And as we know, Perth will keep attacking. They will keep committing numbers forward. to try and chase this game. It is far from over at half-time. Game very interestingly poised. So that was Waddingham scoring the go-ahead goal. Here are the match stats. Mossy, what are the underlying numbers tell us about how we got to this scoreline?
Well, I think expected goals is a big one there, 1.24 in favour of Brisbane Roar, and that's why they're in the lead. But the shots on target also favouring the visiting side. And it's not an easy place to go, Perth. So for Brisbane to put up that first half performance augurs well for what I think is going to explode in the second half. I think we're in for a great second 45 minutes.
Now, at the 38-minute mark, there was a minute's applause, and to tell us more about why, Jacob Burns has a special guest.
How we doing, guys? Thank you for that. I'm here with the wonderful Donna Dufresne, who is Head of Media and Operations with the DT38 Foundation. It's wonderful to have you here, Donna.
Thank you so much, Jacob. It's really loud here, so excuse me if I'm yelling.
Listen, talk about what you do. I know how tirelessly you work for the DT38 Foundation. Tell us about what's coming up and how rewarding the role is and how important tonight is of all nights.
Look, Dylan's legacy is the most important thing for us, and raising awareness. My role ultimately is to raise awareness and get into schools and do campaigns like Perth Glory are doing for us today. That's our biggest initiative, and you know, we've got heats happening. It's fitting that both our charity partners are playing against each other tonight. We just announced Brisbane Roar yesterday. So Brisbane Roar is our new charity partner alongside our principal partner Perth Glory. So it's a very important evening as a whole for us.
Sure, and look, I've had the privilege of being an ambassador for the charity. Tell people at home what they need to do, how important the awareness is, how they can donate.
Look, as you hit the nail on the head, Jacob, you're an important ambassador. Ambassadors are really important to us. You don't necessarily have to play football or a code of any kind. You can be, anyone and everyone can be an ambassador. It's really important to donate to us to help our cause. So you can go to dt38.org and yeah, support us that way, because we need the fundraising in order to keep going and to do what we do.
Thank you, Donna. Thanks for tonight, and good luck with everything moving forward for such a great charity.
Thank you so much, Jacob, and thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity.
Big thanks to Donna Dufresne, and keep up the great work with the DT38 Foundation. Phil Moss, let's take a look at some more of the stats. The Paramount Plus Player Index. Well, we're going to have a quick look at Tom Waddingham first and his involvement in the game.
I'm sure he'll want to watch that replay many times when he gets home as well, because it was a fantastic goal, not from the point of view that it was spectacular, but that's where you want your strikers to be, and you don't want them to lose belief that they can get on the end of things and find the back of the opposition net. And for a young player who his coach has put his complete faith in to lead the line for Brisbane Roar, that's exactly how you want to repay that faith.
Should he be top of the P Plus Player Index though, Mossy?
No, I think that's probably not reflective of his involvement in the first half, although he took that goal well. But certainly the likes of Jay O'Shea, Mille Usnich, Henry Hoare definitely deserve to be there. Adam Taggart has been lively, obviously got his side the go-ahead goal, but he's also been active in general play as well. So I think they all deserve to be there. Tom Waddingham on the first half probably doesn't deserve to be top of the pops.
We will see how the Paramount Plus Player Index shakes out in the second half. Don't forget, coming up this week, the zonal final of the AFC Cup is an all-Australian affair. Second half of this one on the other side of the break here on Paramount Plus.
MacArthur sitting in third. Bernardo skips past a couple to the edge of the box. Jed Drew! And MacArthur can start looking towards the zonal final.
Now Storm-Roo, this is nice football. The cutback, Edmondson has his first goal for the Central Coast Mariners. And doesn't he enjoy it? That's a lovely return pass for Torres! And they have a goal. Ángel Torres. Well, if anyone was going to give them a lifeline, it's their Colombian with his 11th goal of the season. Can he find the option? Brilliant goal for Lockie Brook. It's a brilliant ball. Lockie Brook, that's two. With the delivery towards Marcelo, he's done it. The captain with their backs against the wall.
Welcome back to live pictures from HBF Park, where both teams are meandering back out onto the arena. A very busy first half, 2-1 in favour of visiting Brisbane Roar. They are just 2 goals away from scoring 100 A-League men's goals head-to-head against the Perth Glory. The 2 in the first half taking them up to 98 all-time. And if they hit that 100 mark tonight, well, you'd be brave not to think they'd be coming away with the 3 points. But as the second half kicks off, Phil Moss, as we know, Perth Glory are a bit of a never-say-die sort of team, and they will keep pushing for a way back into this one.
Yeah, that's right. And we've seen so many times that HBF Park can be their 12th man. And they're certainly going to need that tonight. Brisbane have really set a foundation in that first half to go on with it. How will Perth respond in what was said at half-time in those sheds by Alan Stadjic?
Ball over on the left with Henry Hoare. Raw looking to push the issue right in the first minute of the half. Burke-Gilroy to Henry Hoare. Anthony Burke-Gilroy gets another chance in. Foot of your screen, you'll see the lineups of both teams, starting with the Perth Glory. That David Williams starting for just the second time this season tonight. Mossy, we've had 45 minutes of it. He did have one half chance, or maybe even a clear-cut chance after that save by Macklin Freak. But have they done the right thing starting him rather than using his super sub capabilities?
Well, it's always a tough question, isn't it? Coaches can be tempted either way, but he was certainly having a major impact for Perth Glory off the bench. He's involved in a goal in each of their last 5 games with 3 goals, 2 assists. He's only scored 1 goal against Brisbane in his last 9 games against Brisbane, which is an interesting stat.
Well, he's out there for now. And with no substitutions from either team just yet, you imagine in a game that kicked off at 29 degrees, the bench will be crucial. We have got word from our experts, not just the Bureau of Meteorology, Mossy, that they're expecting 42 degrees tomorrow. And then an overnight temperature in the high 30s. So it's going to be a torrid weekend for Perth, particularly for the A-League women's team and Central Coast Mariners, who will be kicking off slightly later than the time this game kicked off tomorrow night. And they'll be hoping that by then, even at 7:30 p.m. local time, it will at least be below 30 degrees. It may not necessarily. Here's a cross in for the Glory now, headed away by Truitt. Waddingham.
Yeah, they're oppressive conditions, aren't they? I remember back in my Central Coast Mariners days, we had to play an away game in China in the Asian Champions League. It was -3 and snowing. Boarded a plane to go straight to Perth for a Sunday game. It was 38 degrees Celsius. It's about the most extreme difference in temperatures I've faced in the space of 3 days. And I didn't have to go out there and play.
As we see a grab here by Latchman. Royal players appeal briefly to Adam Kersey, but play continues.
Yeah, Kersey keen to... I tell you, there was an arm outstretched from Latchman around the waist of Waddingham. This will get a look now that the ball's gone out from VAR. It's probably, at first look, probably not enough in it.
Well, Hingett has held on to the ball and given VAR every opportunity to get in the referee's ear, but no decision forthcoming. So Latchman walked right up to the limit of perhaps where a foul might be, Mossy, but didn't commit one, at least in the referee's determination. Here's Coletti. Coletti again, a little too slick this time for Milosnic. Perth bench very young tonight. Stefan Kolikovski, if anything, is the veteran option there, with Trent Ostler having been used primarily as a wide player, but as a junior he was more of an attacker. We've also got Joel Nasmo, who did score on his debut against Melbourne City. Those are the 3 primary attacking options that the Glory could look to. You'd think at some point Kolikovski would be coming off the bench though for Perth.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe a Nasmo as well. I remember calling that game where he came off the bench and scored. He certainly injects some pace, enthusiasm, energy.
Long ball here is going to find the option for the Glory. Well, a great block made to deny Rawlins. He was shooting on a tight angle, but you just tell there was a high degree of danger there as he ghosted through the right.
First of all, what a wonderful pass to set him up, and then a wonderful first touch from Rawlins to set him up for a strike on goal. You can see by the look on his face, he knows that that was a fantastic opportunity, and he gave himself every chance with that first touch on the fly. Credit to the defensive work in Brisbane Roar as well to snuff out the opportunity.
In swinging corner, Truitt. He's left his keeper in the lurch here, and then back on his line now is Macklin Freak. Shujnia, good defensive header by Yelich, but only as far as Warland. And Benny with the follow-up, couldn't get his feet right, and the Roar managed to survive and hold on to their lead. And now a tangle of legs. We'll see a free kick given the way of Henry Hall.
Well, Riley Warland, this is magnificent technique. That looks easy, but I can assure you it is certainly not. That is wonderful technique to keep that strike down and on target. And Daniel Benny tried to take a touch. It came back to him quite quickly off Macklin Freak. But on second look, if he could have finished that first time, I think there I'd agree. A high chance it was going to end up in the back of the net.
Muir coughed up the ball, and now Brisbane through Jay O'Shea. Will get a free kick. Ball a little overzealous. Looks as though the Brisbane Roar might be the ones readying their first stuff. They have a vastly experienced bench compared to the Glory. Florent Berengay, Marco Rojas, even compared to the youngsters on the Glory bench, players like Taras Gamulka and Carlo Armiento have a number of seasons more experience. They are themselves still not quite in the veteran category. Roar on notice, though, after a very good Macklin Freak save, has kept this game at 2-1. Jelicic leaves the ball with Henry Hoare. Hingett getting forward. Hingett crafts across. Sale had to go and does. Able to bat it away.
Well, he did well there, Sale. It's as if he had a little moment of hesitation as to whether to go for it or not, and then he committed, and he had to stay committed to clear the danger. He did very well. As you see, Jack Hingett just floating it into an area. Well, Sale made the decision early on not to try and hold it, just to get a fist to it.
Miluznic able to turn and face. And he plays the ball straight into the defensive space of Rawlins. He's going to follow up here and have another go. Jay O'Shea. O'Shea, Jelicic. Miluznic. Perth defence sitting deep, waiting for the Roar to try and prod through.
I was just going to say, this is a training ground exercise for Brisbane. How to break down a compact defence. They've had to go all the way back to their goalkeeper just to try and draw Perth out. Create the space to then try and penetrate through the lines.
Hingett spinning away from Kamau. Not able to get the better of him, but he does win a throw. Glory look to build. Rawlins. And he balloons the cross out. Disappointing end.
Extremely. And a little bit uncharacteristic from Rawlins, just a lack of concentration. As you see the first activity from the bench.
So Port goes up. And it's a double change for the Brisbane Roar. Tom Waddingham, the goal scorer. He's going to be making way. The referee's just going to give this the hurry up. Corey Brown coming on for his 6th appearance of the season, and Marco Rojas, 3rd appearance back in the Isuzu Ute A-League men's. Henry Hoare is the player that makes way, so very much fresh legs here. I wouldn't think either of these changes necessarily are tactical. Well, sorry, correction. The Rojas change is tactical, the Corey Brown change very much is. Let's wait and see exactly what it does to the formation. 2 new faces, and the Roar will be hoping it doesn't interrupt their flow and control on the game. Here goes Rojas, straight into the action. And what a pass! Walland able to slide it and put it behind for a corner. But that is the sort of introduction that Marco Rojas and the Brisbane Roar were after.
Well, they don't call him the Kiwi Messi for nothing. Look at that, straight into the action. Good weight on the pass, outside of the right foot. And it almost put Jelacic in a position to write his own script against his former club.
So a raw corner, looking for a 2-goal buffer.
What's hands?
He's dropping on Adam Kersey as he gives a last warning. Here comes the corner then. O'Shea. Coletti. Milosevic to fire from distance, but sends it well high.
It was always rising, wasn't it? He got a lucky bounce in the contest, and then you could see his eyes light up. Just didn't quite get his technique right on that occasion, Milosevic, but we know he's capable. He really got his head over the ball.
Get to turn to their bench. They have had one great chance to score in this second half, and you can see at the base of your screens it's going to be Joel Linasmo and Trent Osler. That'll be their first 2 changes. Giordano Colli in the meantime. Intercepted at the centre of defence. Coletti. And the Raw looking to exploit some space here. Rojas. Touch just got out in front of him and presented the ball to Rawlins.
Looks as though Rojas is...
David Williams has stolen a march here. Early ball. And the follow-up. Benny can't get there. Desperate lunge from Aldred. Able to keep the Brisbane Roar from suffering a shot on target.
Sorry, I stopped mid-sentence to let you call the action, Teo, but looks as though Marco Rojas will be a straight swap for Waddingham and play probably more as a false 9, dropping off the front line. Be creative.
So Jacob Muir's number has come up here for Trent Osler. Stefan Kolikovsky has been subbed on. It's a triple change for the Glory. Bruce Kamau is coming off for Joel Linasmo. David Williams, the other player that has made waves. So heaps of activity on the Glory bench in the 60th minute. And it is Kolikovsky, Osler and Linasmo who are thrown into the action for Muir, Williams and Kamau. And straight away a chance. Straight away a chance for Kolikovsky. And now Benny! Great save by Macklin Freak. He is having a night.
Well, that is an incredible save by Macklin Freak. His reflexes tonight have been on point as we see the ball into the feet of Kolikovsky, and it falls kindly for Daniel Benny. And Macklin Freak, look at that, he had to get up from his knees for a start and then fling himself to the left-hand side with a strong palm to avert the danger. Magnificent goalkeeping.
Corner drifted to the penalty spot. Aldred, an up and under header, not away just yet. And now that follow-up is held on to by the keeper. Macklin Freak has had some of his best saves of the season tonight. And there is still half an hour to go. No change to the halftime score. Perth Glory with a couple of great opportunities to find an equaliser. And will fresh legs bring about a renewed press? Raw able to ping the ball around their back line and escape through the left. Corey Brown. Higgin. Second half possession very similar to that of the first. Almost 2/3 in favour of the Brisbane Roar. long passing chain again for Brisbane. Starves Perth of the ball. And eventually it comes to an end. Daniel Benny. Glory have had a player go down here. Just crab for Josh Rawlins.
He's got through a lot of work tonight. Rawlins has been heavily involved in most of the attacking raids down the right-hand side for Perth, and had to get back and do his defensive job as well when they fall into a back four. It's part of that Perth Glory defensive structure.
He had not played a great deal of football before coming back to Australia in the Netherlands, so this is only his second appearance back. And in this injury break, let's throw it down to ground level and check in with Jacob Burns. Jacob, your observations.
Yeah, interesting, guys. Obviously, Brisbane have changed personnel, but they've also changed shape. They've gone to a back three. They've got Anton Burgoy as a wing back on the right here, and Brownie's come on as a left wing back. So we're matching up like for like now at the minute. Glory subs have come in like for like. It'd be interesting to see if they roll up and they roll up as a unit and press and try to get something out of this game. They seem to get more joy when they're actually trying to press Brisbane higher up the pitch rather than sit off and let them start to dictate the play once again.
Thank you to Jacob Burns on the sideline. As we saw there, that the trainers clearly combined with Rawlins agreed enough was enough, and so Jared Carluccio comes on, and Rawlins, who will be playing a key role for the Olyroos in trying to qualify for the Olympics in about 2 months' time. Mossy, he needs as many match minutes as possible to get back up to full speed, and certainly the Glory will be hoping for something similar as they look to finish the season as strongly as they can.
Yeah, that's right. Crucial period coming up for the Olyroos, coming up for the Socceroos, the Matildas as well. But so much to look forward to on the national team front.
Brisbane Roar immediately resuming their control of possession. Hingan. Gilroy. Look at the crossing numbers there. Perth, the wide team. Brisbane Roar, not so much. However, they're going to probe the flank right here. Jelicic drops the shoulder on Carluccio, and the most recent sub into the game is able to stop Jelicic from creating anything too dangerous.
You have to say, the confidence with which Brisbane have come here tonight and played, it's a credit to obviously Ruben Zadkovic and what he's done in his early days with Brisbane. As you just see that replay, Jelicic just can't get any purchase on the cross, but credit, as you said, to Carluccio for the defensive job. But since Zadkovic took over from Ben Khan, I think they were 7 losses from their 8 games, and then a draw against Wellington for Zadkovic's first game, and then that big win last week against Melbourne City. And you can see the confidence running through the veins of the Brisbane players.
A slip from Osler proved costly. However, the Glory defence is now back in formation. Coletti. Milusic. Latchman stepped up, able to win possession away from Jelicic, and then Shuzhnia blasts it into his own teammate in Collie. However, all's well that ends well for the Glory, because they're in possession. Osler, a few groans from the crowd as the ball speed slows down. But now it might pick back up here for Daniel Benny. And he wins a corner.
Well played, Perth Glory. Patient in possession, decisive down the right-hand side, earning themselves a corner. So it was a set piece that gave them the lead tonight. Is it going to be a set piece that draws them level, gets them back into this contest on the scoreboard?
have been dangerous at set pieces, the Glory. Can they create again here? Warland, the in-swinger. And Kolikovski and Taggart, neither of them could really make a leap at the ball. It's just going to tail out for a goal kick. And now Anthony Burke-Gilroy is down for Brisbane.
It's fair to say the Shed think this is part of match management on behalf of Brisbane Roar. He certainly looks in some form of discomfort, Burke-Gilroy. Whether it's just cramp or he's felt something in his right leg.
The Raw remaining outfielders on the bench: Florin Berengay, Taras Kabulka, Carlo Armiento and James Nikolovsky. Perth Glory taking the opportunity to have a drink and a quick word on the sideline.
While we're on Brisbane Roar and the amount of change they've been through, Ross Aloisi leaving, Ben Khan coming in, Ben Khan leaving, Ruben Zadkovic coming in. There's been so much of it. You've got to give credit to the likes of Jay O'Shea, Tom Aldred. They're experienced players who've really led the dressing room through those times. No doubt Jack Hingett has played a key role. Mile Uznich as well, no doubt. It's not easy to keep a dressing room united through that much change in management.
You can see there Florin Berengay had been prepared to come on, and he will. It'll be part of a double change with James Nikolovsky, who is also going to be into the game for the Glory. So you'd suggest that Anthony Burke-Gilroy's number is up as James Nikolovsky comes on. 7th career appearance for the 21-year-old. And Shane Skinner, the 4th official, is encouraging more of a hurried exit for the next sub as Nikolovsky speaks to Tom Aldred upon his arrival. Nikola Mileušnić, who scored his 5th goal of the campaign, gets congratulated by Ruben Zadkovic on the bench. And Florin Berengay, the veteran Frenchman who has missed a significant chunk of this season to injury, but does have 2 goals in his 9 appearances. And we know his quality as he comes on. Berengay has been installed right at the top of the Raw's attack. Perth in possession. Anasmo. So no more Josh Rawlins on the right side. It's Jared Carluccio now. A little burst of acceleration. He leaves the ball with Daniel Benny. And it comes from Ostler, headed away by Truitt. Giordano Colley. Lines a pass out to Riley Warland. Header had to be pinpoint for Anasmo. And a good slide challenge comes in. Nikolovsky straight into the action. Kolikovski, hard against the line. Anasmo, back to Warland. Warland just puts it up for grabs, and well, there's only one player wearing gloves.
And herein lies the challenge for Brisbane Roar. Near on 20 minutes plus injury time remaining, holding that 1-goal lead. As Jacob Burns alluded to, Brisbane have changed shape and gone to a back 5. Certainly defensively. It's that fine balance between going for the 3rd and not losing what you've got. If you sit back too deep and invite Perth on, they've got that 12th man.
Here's a chance right here. The offside flag is up, and that save won't count because the flag was already up for offside against Stefan Kolikovski.
That 12th man is in the shape of the atmosphere that crowd there creates for them. So they'll come home strong, Perth Glory.
They did well to win the ball back in an advanced area, but it was too advanced. Kolikovsky was still stuck in an offside position. Bit of aerial ping pong. Who's going to put it on the deck? Aldred comes through. Jelicic backs his touch and protects the ball initially, but then through come the Glory. And Asmo. Still Joel and Asmo. Still an Asmo. And the follow-up is there from Taggart. Glory are level. And it's Adam Taggart who draws it to 2-2 after a mercurial run from Joel and Asmo.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. If you sit back and invite them onto you, they'll take the invitation with open arms. And Joel and Asmo, with that energy and impact and creativity and belief off the bench, drove at the heart of the Brisbane Roar defence on the Harvey Norman replay. He picks the ball up with plenty of space in front of him. Look at that, gliding past players. And then his shot deflects kindly for Adam Taggart. We all know he doesn't need a second invitation. And he just guides it into the far corner. Adam Taggart, look at that, nice and controlled. Knew exactly what he was doing with the outside of his right foot. And that's a good angle. He knew exactly what he was doing, the wily marksman, for his second goal of the evening.
Draws him to within one of leadership in the Golden Boot now. 12th of the campaign. And Joel and Asmo playing in just his third A-League men's appearance. Alan Stajic did tell us after the game against Melbourne City that if not for injury, he would have featured in the first team sooner. That was a real show of his quality, Moss.
Yeah, it really was. He knew exactly what he was doing. He stayed calm, cool and collected, and just trusted his technique. Wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but it didn't need to be. He got the precision spot on.
And you flagged it after his goal in the first half. Adam Taggart's form and a prospective Socceroos recall, I imagine, regardless of the outcome tonight for the Perth Glory, Taggart's own personal form will mean that is front and centre in the national team conversation.
Yeah, you can't deny that. I think he's just sent a message to Graham Arnold loud and clear via email, via carrier pigeon, you name it, whatever means there is to send memos. They're finding their way to Graham Arnold and his selection committee ahead of these World Cup qualifiers. But it's not just his goals either, it's his mobility, it's his general play, he's back to goal, bringing midfielders into the game.
And when they scored in the first half, the Glory, Raw answered with 2 in quick succession. Are we about to have a repeat? Can the Brisbane Raw put themselves back in front? Jay O'Shea, a run from Corey Brown, but he can't find a teammate nor trouble the keeper. And the counter-attack is on. Daniel Benny, the crowd rise as Benny breaks into open field. All about the delivery. Benny, well, he tried to go himself on the tight angle, and there were enough Raw defenders in the road. Foul here by Carluccio. He's going to get a talking to rather than a booking from Adam Kersey. Well, he's only 17 years old, Daniel Benny, and decision-making in scenarios like that will be all important as he starts to learn about senior football.
Yeah, that's right, but credit to James Nikolowski as well. He did his job there. He didn't lose his head, he didn't dive in. Running defence, as it's sometimes called, he just ran with Daniel Benny and waited for the opportunity to get his body in the way of a shot. You need cool heads in those situations. James Nikolowski stood up to the challenge.
Hingett and Wallen both went in the air. The whistle goes. Glory free kick. Ticked into the final 15 minutes of regulation. As we see here, well, maybe the shove in the back was enough. The referee is watching from the other side. Reffing. Kolikovsky. Buzzing around. Carluccio, and just a little bit too much on the return pass. Coletti. Back to Nikolovsky. Dangerous pass to the top of the area. It spills for Kolikovsky. It had to be him. Stefan Kolikovsky puts the glory in front. And that's what it means to these home fans. A good week for Perth. May about to become a great week.
Well, it's tag team between Stefan Kolikovsky and Davey Williams. Davey Williams gets the start tonight, and it's Kolikovsky off the bench to have the impact on the Harvey Norman replay. Brisbane Roar. That is football suicide right there. Trying to overplay across the face of their 18-yard box. Daniel Benny stills in, plays in Kolikovsky, and he's going to make no mistake from there in the form he's been in this season. And he thrashes it home to give his side a 3-2 lead.
6th of the season for Stefan Kolikovsky, 9th career. And in 5 appearances now against the Brisbane Roar, it's the first time he's found the back of the net against them. A player so sparingly used when Ruben Zatkovic was the coach. This season he has been born again under Alan Stajic. The Brisbane Roar bench, well, they'll be wondering what happened to their halftime lead. It's gone up in a puff of smoke.
It certainly has, but credit to Alan Stajic and what he said at halftime, and how he's tweaked things in the second half, and how he's used his bench as well. And we spoke about that, the Davey Williams selection. He's been so effective off the bench.
Now Roar on the attack again, in need of an equaliser. And possession taken away. Anasmo. He's shown us one mazy run already. And here he's looking for the 1-2. Ball stuck between the feet, but he has a good touch here in Asmo. And then Nikolovsky makes the block. Well, I told everyone not to go to bed at halftime, Mossy, because these games at HBF Park, they are goal fests. They are end-to-end. Dare I suggest, we've seen 2 goals in 5 minutes. Kind of like now, the last 10 minutes is actually where the fun starts. Because Brisbane Roar, it's up to them to surge again. And you fancy they might just. So Perth are coming off a 3-3 draw where they conceded in the 97th minute last weekend. So by no means are they safe holding this lead at present.
Well, we are certainly strapped in the commentary box, ready for what may come over the next 10 minutes plus injury time. We've seen it time and time again.
O'Shea. Now Coletti. Slides a pass for Hingett. And Shujna is able to clear his lines. Perth would be foolhardy to invite Brisbane on here. And the Roar showed us what they were capable of in the first half. And they were controlling 67% of possession. Keegan Jelicic. Neat little sidestep. Now Rojas. Corey Brown. Truan to Berenguer. One block from Ostler. Berenguer. Back to Truan. Truan, the defender, tried to forge a path through, but he can't find one. Benny. And the clearance is made. It stays in play. Well, initially it did. Roar still get the throw. Sub coming up. Carlo Armiento is going to be coming on. And he'll be replacing Joe Coletti. So more fresh legs as Coletti leaves the pitch on the opposite side of the ground. A-League appearance number 80 for him tonight comes to an end. Armiento still looking for his first goal of the season. In fact, his first goal since December of 2022. So let's see what impact he can make. Here's a look at the XG, first half to second half raw, 0.03 after the break. And it'll go up slightly here as that shot flashes just past the post. Armiento introducing himself.
And interestingly, there's no surprise he took that shot because Carlo Armiento has had 16 shots off the bench as a sub this season, which is top in the A-League men's for 0 goals. But with every shot, you can't help but think he's getting closer to notching that first goal.
And now Kolikovsky, a heavy touch, and he's still able to fire a shot. Managed to get it under the lunging Aldred, and a good save from Macklin Freak. On a night where he's conceded 3, he's made some great stops too.
Well, I was just about to say, for someone who's had to pick the ball out of his net 3 times so far, he's been one of the best on the pitch.
There's been chat about the veteran shed and the youth brigade, 2 big banks behind that goal there. Both of them doing a marvellous job creating an atmosphere here at HBF Park. Kolikovsky in late on Truen, no whistle. Benny, crowd urging him to shoot, and he hooks it. Well, Daniel Benny is still looking for that first A-League goal. He's had a handful of chances tonight, some better than others. It's only a matter of time until he does break through. Tonight is game number 15 for him in his debut season. Of course, we saw him score against West Ham in pre-season, but still waiting on that first league goal. And now the Raw, their turn to venture forward. Berenguer, Jay O'Shea, Hingett, Truen, and O'Shea. It's being followed every step of the way, and Ostler doesn't get much luck there as he concedes a corner for his hard work. So a corner for the Raw. They conceded from 1 in the first half, and they return the favour here in the second. High beyond the far post, first header and side netting. Ollie Sale not happy. As Florent Berenguer is left to wonder how close he was.
I think Tom Aldred's copped one in the side of the head here. Friendly fire from his teammate. Berenguer, I think it was, backing into him as Aldred got his head to the ball.
Well, it's 2 players going for the same ball from the same team, Mossy.
Yeah, that's right. You can try so hard, can't you, to get your side back into the game. I think if Berenguer gets out of the way there, Tom Aldred has a much better chance of hitting the target. But gee, I'll tell you what a second half from Perth Glory. And no better time to do it than when the new boss is in the stands. Ross Pelligra at the game tonight, as Jacob Burns alluded to in his comments earlier in the game. Fantastic to see a new owner announced this week, and particularly someone who has experience owning a football club, Catania in Italy. Close links with Socceroos legends Mark Bresciano and Vinny Grella. And that tells you that he's got experience on what to do, what works, what doesn't. Fantastic, not just for the Glory, but for the A-League.
Here's a look at the Paramount Plus Player Index. We will revisit in post-game. Also have the Alex Tobin medal votes given by the experts. So we'll see how all of that matches up. Right now, Adam Taggart, top of the pile. Perth Glory holding a 3-2 lead. Shuzhnin, preventative defending, just blazes the ball forward. And it needs some dealing with here. Aldred able to find his keeper. Space in midfield for Rojas. Came into the game like a real bolt of lightning. We know he can create. Hingett, deflected cross. He's going to follow up here. Hingett onto the head of Latchman. Anasmo as far as Taggart. And Taggart back to Osler. And now Latchman to Carluccio. With a little burst of acceleration. Benny keeps it moving. Kolikovski. And now Osler. And Perth have played their way into some breathing room. Benny again, cuts it back. Taggart's there. It sits up for Kolikovski. And into the night sky it goes.
Oh, the movement from Adam Taggart off the ball land to create the opportunity was just to behold. Such an experienced player. It's been such a good captain's knock from him tonight. Didn't pay off on that occasion.
Well, I don't know how many minutes of stoppage we're heading for, Mossy, but I do wonder what minute Glory might drop anchor and try to keep the ball in the corner. Not just yet. Maybe not until that board goes up. They have been the victims of so much late drama this season. No doubt it's a scenario they train for. A 2-goal buffer might make it a moot point as the ball flashes in and out of the 6-yard box. Colin. Shuzhna. Crowd want VAR. Collie wants to drive in another cross, and it's easy pickings for Macklin Frick.
Well, not for the first time tonight. Alex Shuzhna has caused some problems.
Taggart hunting the ball after it was spilled, and Jay O'Shea uncharacteristically caught in possession. And now he's trying to fashion a throw for his team. It's going to go Glory's way in the end, though.
Look at those scenes behind the goal. The Shed are absolutely loving this from the home side. It's early days, but are the good times slowly but surely returning to HBF Park.
Well, if they can hold on the Glory as we wait for this high ball. A bit of grabbing on Aldred. He still won the header. Carluccio. And it's to the advantage of Corey Brown. He finds Berenguer. And as he's taken off the ball, no whistle forthcoming. Play continues. Kolikovski sideways. Nikolovsky. It's a shallow pass, and Nasmo's on the scene. Glory have spilled the ball. Kolikovski drives it straight back into Nikolovsky. Rawcraft get out of the defensive half at the moment. Ostler now defending from the front. Benny swings it in over the head of Taggart. Wave after wave of attack from Perth. As 90 minutes ticks over, 6 additional to finish the night. Here's Anasmo, breaks to the line. Still Joel Anasmo, the cutback. And there was no one to apply the finishing touch.
Oh, he was begging for a purple shirt, Joel Anasmo. He did brilliantly down the left-hand side in such a tight area. But he just loves getting into those one-on-one situations. It's fantastic counter-pressing from Perth Glory. Every time they lose the ball, they are hunting in packs with so much energy.
Raw with a restart here. Deep breath. If Glory can hold on to this win, they would go up to 19 points. They would leapfrog Newcastle, and they would still be 6 off the pace of Western Sydney Wanderers on 25. They play tomorrow. Substitution here in stoppage time for the Glory. Jaden Gorman is coming on for just his second A-League men's appearance, first since the 11th of November. And he will come on with a clear job, and that is to defend and wind the clock. A big moment for him, 20 years of age, as he replaces the 17-year-old sensation Daniel Benny. Another big 90 minutes from him. And Gorman comes on as a lockdown sub at the end of the night.
Tell you what, if Perth do hold on for these 3 points, you've got to give a lot of credit to Alan Stajic. He has coached this team very, very well tonight. Things didn't start so well in the first half, but gee, he earned his money at half-time, and then the way he's used his substitutions in the second half have made such a difference.
Well, Anasmo with the run that led to the deflection into the path of Adam Taggart for the equaliser. And then Stefan Kolikovski capitalising on Daniel Benny's good work to score what is currently the goal that separates the sides. Ruben Zadkovic waits in his chair. 4 minutes for his team to try and wrestle back a share of the points. It has happened to Glory so many times this season. Stoppage time equalisers. Stoppage time winners from their opponents. Raw will still play with belief. Jelicic is caught offside.
Brisbane came tonight with a good game plan. They certainly won the opening exchanges. Zadkovic set them out well. There's two teams out there, of course, and it can be a game of chess at times. But
shallow header from Mikulovski straight to Taggart, and he puts it into the goalkeeper's gloves. Oh, big opportunity for Taggart to land the knockout punch there. And that pass runs out. Half of stoppage time has expired.
He's exciting, isn't he? Joel Anasmo. Every time I've seen him come on, he's made an impact. Loves running at players.
19 years of age. All of these Glory youngsters, of course, homegrown as well. Having come through their NPL Academy teams, they've got a great eye for what's going on the local scene in Perth. Every second possible being taken by Warland here. And now he will hurl it down the line, and perhaps it is time to go to the corner for the Perth Glory as we tick into the final 2 in the original 6 minutes, and Kolikovski's having fun with the ball kids there.
He's been good too tonight, Riley Warland, on the left-hand side for Perth Glory. Don't forget he delivered a free kick for Perth's go-ahead goal in the first half. He's also injected himself into the attack and done his job defensively as well. Good performance.
And indeed, Kolikovski takes the ball out of the penalty area, back to the corner. And it's a goal kick, so Raw have got breathing space here. Macklin Freak can't find a spare ball, though. Oh, the home ball kids are well and truly in effect. That ball kid gets a round of applause.
Are you suggesting that ball boys have been coached?
Maybe they've just got really good ball knowledge over there in Perth, game management situation. Anyway, Brisbane have got to go end to end. An equaliser can still be so important for them in the pursuit of the top 6. They've got a minute to grab one. Collie. And the touchdown from Taggart suits Collie just fine. Sends it left. Kolikovski, and rather than dream of glory, he will take it back to the corner again. And Nasmo steered backwards by his teammates. All the way back to the keeper, Ollie Sale. Now he hits up the right-hand flank, and Gorman commits a foul. And the crowd's hot. They know Glory are close to the 3 points. They're going to cheer for every decision. Will boo everyone that goes against them. And so now it'll be Brisbane Raw on a wing and a prayer after the expiry of stoppage time. Aldred thrown forward. A new era starts with a win for the Glory. And maybe the good times are on their way back to Perth. A come-from-behind win. Adam Taggart moving to within 1 of Golden Boot lead. And Stefan Kolikovski grabs the match winner in a situation where Perth Glory have capped a great week for the club with 3 points in the bank. It finishes at HBF Park. Perth Glory 3, Brisbane Raw 2. And Mossy, a game that was defined in the first half by a quick double strike from Brisbane to go from behind to the lead, only for Perth to do it to them in quick succession in the second.
Yeah, that's right. And what matters most is what happens by the end of 90 minutes plus injury time, and Perth